All right, let's dive into something really cool today. Prepping for a product development engineering drafter interview.
Sounds good.
It's a job where you get to take those amazing aha moments, those invention ideas, and actually turn them into real blueprints.
Ah,
It's like being the bridge between, that spark of creativity and the product you can hold in your hands.
yeah, that's a great way to put it. It really is that bridge between the concept and the tangible reality.
Exactly.
It's fascinating how much both creativity and precision this role demands. It's not just about drawing lines on a computer, right? It's about making sure those lines can actually become a real product, something functional, something that can be manufactured.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into it. Let's imagine ourselves in the hot seat in that interview
Okay.
and tackle some of those real questions you might get hit with.
All right, let's do it.
First one, can you describe your experience with CAD software?
I think this one is almost guaranteed to come up in some form or another. And it's more than just rattling off the names of software you've used, right? They want to see how deep your knowledge
So
goes.
don't just say, oh yeah, I've used AutoCAD. That's not enough.
Right, right.
What's the secret sauce to answering this one in a way that really impresses them?
Well, I think specificity is key. Definitely mention the specific software you're proficient in,
Yeah.
whether it's SolidWorks, CATIA, whatever it is, but then be ready to tell a story.
A story
Yeah.
about CAD software. Okay.
Think back to a project where you really flex those CAD muscles.
Okay.
What was the design challenge? What specific tools within the software did you use? What did you learn from that experience? Tell them that story.
So you're showing them that you can not just use the software, but you can think critically with it, you problem solve.
Absolutely.
You know,
It's showing that deeper level of understanding.
What if they throw a curveball and they say, what are some of the challenges of using CAD and how have you overcome them?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
Right.
That gets a little more, in depth, but
Yeah.
that's where you can really show off your understanding of maybe the limitations of the software. Maybe you've run into some compatibility issues between different file formats or had to troubleshoot a really complex 3D model, right?
Yeah.
Talk about how you approached those challenges and the solutions you came up with.
It shows them you're not afraid of a little technical hiccup.
Exactly.
I like that. Now, this next one, this question's all about precision, which we know is like crucial in drafting.
Yes.
How do you ensure accuracy and precision in your drafting work?
That's a good one. Again, it's more than just, saying, "Oh, I don't make typos" or something like that.
Yeah.
It's really about showcasing your meticulous work style, your real dedication to quality.
So it's not enough to say, I'm really careful.
No, definitely not.
How do you make your answer pop?
Think about your process. Do you have a specific checklist you follow? Do you double check measurements? Triple check measurements? Do you use certain tools or techniques to verify tolerances? Really paint that picture of your work habits.
You're almost like painting a picture for them
Exactly.
of your brain working through that process.
Exactly.
I bet a good follow-up question to that would be, describe a time you caught a critical error before it became a bigger problem.
Oh, 100%. That's a classic one.
Yeah.
Having that story ready to go where, your attention to detail really saved the day, that's gold.
Right, because you're not just saying it.
Exactly.
You're showing
We're proving it.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Can you discuss your experience working with cross-functional teams? Now, this is a big one, right? Because especially in product development, you're constantly working with engineers, designers, all these different people.
Oh, absolutely. Collaboration is key in this role. So you want to really highlight your communication skills, your interpersonal skills. Choose an anecdote where teamwork was essential to success.
So don't just say, I'm a team player or I work well with others. Give them a specific example. What kind of story would really knock their socks off?
Well, think about a project where maybe you had to explain a really complex technical concept to a non-technical team member. Or maybe you had to negotiate design changes with a bunch of different stakeholders and everyone had different opinions.
Right.
The key is to show that you can listen actively, that you can communicate clearly, and that you can find solutions collaboratively.
You're not just a lone wolf, you're a team player, but
Yeah.
you can also navigate those, inevitable disagreements or bumps in the road.
Exactly. Those bumps are going to happen, and it's about how you navigate them.
Totally. And speaking of bumps in the road, how would you advise someone to answer the question, how do you handle disagreements within a team, especially when deadlines are looming?
That's a great question. It's all about conflict resolution.
Yeah.
So emphasize your ability to stay calm under pressure,
Uh-huh.
listen to different viewpoints, and ultimately find solutions that benefit the whole team.
It's not about you winning the argument. It's about the project succeeding.
Exactly. It's about finding that compromise.
Right, right. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit to something that I think really shows your passion for the field. How do you stay up to date with the latest trends and technologies in product development?
Oh, I love this question
Right.
because you get to really nerd out here. You get to show that you're not just clocking in and out, you're genuinely excited about what's happening in the world of product development.
No, most people just say, I read trade journals,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Yeah.
But how can you make your answer a little more memorable, a little more you?
Well, instead of just listing generic sources, mention some specific publications or websites that you follow. Maybe there's a blog by a leading CAD expert that you love, or maybe a podcast about cutting-edge manufacturing processes, whatever it is.
That you geek out on, yeah.
Yeah. The little details show that you're a true enthusiast. You're not just, keeping up because you have to. You're keeping up because you want to.
And then I bet they would love to hear about a specific technology or trend that's got you particularly fired up right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What emerging technology are you most interested in, and how do you see it shaping the future of product development?
Yeah. Okay, now this next question might seem a little off topic, but I think it actually speaks volumes about your commitment to professional growth.
I agree.
It's not just about this one job. It's about where you want to go in your career.
That's right. It's all about showcasing your ambition and how you're, actively investing in your career development.
And this is where a tool like RoleCatcher can really come in handy, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I mean, RoleCatcher's career guides are fantastic for this.
Yeah.
They break down different career stages, from entry level all the way up to senior roles.
And they show you, okay, here are the skills and experience you need at each level. So it's like a roadmap for your career.
It is a roadmap. So you can figure out, okay, where am I now? Where do I want to be? And what are those stepping stones to get there?
Exactly.
I love it. Now, the really cool thing about RoleCatcher is that it also uses AI to help you tailor your answers and get feedback specific to the job you're applying for.
Right.
So it's not just about knowing the general content, it's about presenting yourself in a way that's perfectly aligned with what that employer is looking for.
That's the power of AI, It helps you customize your responses, highlight your strengths, and maybe address any potential weaknesses that you might have.
It's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket.
Exactly. And it can make all the difference in helping you stand out from the competition. So we've covered a lot of ground already, but we're just getting warmed up. Let's take a quick pause and come back for more interview acing tips in part 2. Welcome back to our deep dive into the product development engineering drafter interview. In part 1, we tackled some common questions about your CAD skills, attention to detail, and teamwork.
Yeah, those are like the foundation.
Exactly.
Those are the must-haves.
Now let's get into some more, I guess you could say, specialized territory.
Okay, like it.
This is where your knowledge of the entire product development life cycle really comes into play.
Yeah.
Okay, hit me with a question that would really test that broader understanding.
All right, how about this? Can you describe your experience with manufacturing processes and materials?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Because this is where the rubber meets the road, right? You're not just designing something on a screen anymore.
Right.
You need to know how this thing's actually going to get made in the real world.
Exactly.
What kind of knowledge do you need to showcase here? Do you need to be like a manufacturing expert?
You don't need to be an expert in every single process, but you should have a solid understanding of the basics, right? Like, why might you choose injection molding over, say, CNC machining for a particular part? What are the advantages and limitations of each?
You're not just drawing lines. You're thinking about how those lines are going to become a real thing.
Absolutely.
That someone can touch and feel.
It has to be manufacturable at the end of the day. That's the whole point.
Okay, and what about materials? Because you mentioned materials too.
Materials are huge.
Yeah.
I mean, materials knowledge is absolutely crucial. You should be comfortable discussing different types of plastics, metals, composites, and really understand their properties. You know, why might you choose stainless steel over aluminum for a specific part? What are the cost implications of those choices?
That's where your understanding of engineering principles really shines through.
Yeah, it all ties together.
Okay, let's talk about a question that can really separate, I think, the problem solvers from the pack.
Okay.
The people who can really think on their feet.
Okay.
Can you discuss a time when you had to troubleshoot a design problem?
Everyone loves a good problem-solving story.
Yes.
So be specific. Don't just say, oh, I'm good at troubleshooting. Pick a real-world example from your experience.
What kind of example would really knock their socks off?
Okay, think about a time when a design just didn't work as expected.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe a part failed during testing, or a tolerance was off and it just wasn't fitting right.
Uh-huh.
Walk them through the steps you took to identify the problem, analyze the root cause, and ultimately come up with a solution.
So you're showcasing your analytical skills.
Absolutely.
Your thought process.
Yeah.
And don't forget to mention what you learned from that experience, because that shows growth.
Huge. That shows that you're always learning, you're always improving.
Right. Okay. Can you discuss your experience with product testing and validation?
Oh, this is a good one.
So this is about making sure the product not only looks good on paper, but it actually functions properly in the real world.
Exactly. Exactly. Have you been involved in prototyping, testing? Do you have experience with any simulations or analysis software?
What kind of examples would you highlight here?
Think about, specific tests that you've conducted, whether it's stress testing a component or doing a thermal analysis. Mention any industry standards or compliance requirements that you've had to adhere to.
It's about demonstrating your commitment to quality.
Absolutely.
And your understanding of that entire product development cycle.
It shows them that you're not just a designer.
Right.
You're a problem solver.
Right.
Who's passionate about creating products that meet real-world needs.
I love it.
Right.
Okay, now let's talk about a skill that is so valuable in any role, but especially important, I think, in this field. Project management.
Absolutely.
Okay, you might get asked, can you describe your experience with project management?
Yep.
Even if you've never had the official title of project manager,
Right.
you've probably had to juggle multiple tasks.
Oh, for sure.
Meet deadlines.
Yeah.
Coordinate with others, right?
Yeah, it's part of almost any job these days.
Absolutely. So think about those experiences.
Yeah.
Have you used any project management software or methodologies? Have you ever taken the lead on even like a smaller aspect of a larger project?
Those are all great examples to share. Yeah.
Quantify those achievements. Highlight your organizational skills.
It's all about showing them that you can handle responsibility.
Yeah.
And that you can deliver results even within, a larger team setting.
Awesome. Now, this next question might seem a little administrative, but it's absolutely crucial in engineering.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Can you discuss your experience with documentation and record keeping?
Yep.
Documentation might not be the most glamorous part of the job, but it is essential for traceability, accountability, and avoiding costly mistakes down the line.
Big time, yeah.
So they want to know you understand that.
Yeah.
And that you can create clear and concise documentation.
Right. It's got to be understandable.
So don't just say, I'm good at keeping things organized. Give them specific examples.
Exactly. Have you used any version control software to track design changes? Have you created detailed engineering drawings with all the necessary specifications?
All those nitty-gritty details.
Yeah, it shows them that you understand how important documentation is in this world.
Okay, let's tackle one final question in this section, and it's all about the bottom line.
All right, hit me.
Can you discuss your experience with cost analysis and value engineering?
Ooh, this one goes beyond just the technical aspects of design.
Yeah.
It's about showing them that you understand the business implications of your decisions.
So even if you haven't been directly involved in budgeting, you need to show that you at least get the concept.
Right, you understand the importance of it.
Yeah.
So, have you ever had to make design choices based on cost constraints? Have you explored different manufacturing processes, maybe to try to optimize costs?
Or maybe you found a way to simplify a design without sacrificing functionality.
Oh, that's a great one.
Which saves time and money in the long run.
Exactly. That's value engineering right there.
Right.
It's about showing them that you can balance creativity with practicality and make decisions that benefit both the product and the company's bottom line.
We've covered some pretty tough questions in this round.
Yeah, we have.
But remember, it's not about having the perfect answers. It's about showcasing your thought process, your problem-solving skills, and that passion for this field.
Couldn't agree more. And don't forget, RoleCatcher's AI-powered tools can be a huge asset in this whole process.
Right. So RoleCatcher can help you analyze those job descriptions, tailor your responses, and even get personalized feedback.
Yeah, it's like having a secret weapon in your interview arsenal.
It really is. Okay, let's take another quick break, and we'll be back with more interview acing tips and strategies in part 3. Welcome back to our deep dive. It's the final part of our look into this product development engineering drafter interview. We've really covered a lot, haven't we?
We have, yeah. From technical skills to problem solving, even a bit of cost analysis in there.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang.
But we're not done yet. We've got more to share.
We've got some more strategies that I think can really help give you an edge.
Okay. Now, you know I love to talk about RoleCatcher.
Yes.
And I know we can analyze job descriptions, but how does it actually help me tailor my answers?
Okay. Imagine this. You upload that job description, right? And RoleCatcher's AI, it just goes to work and it dissects it.
Okay.
Or like SGen. Identifying the keywords, the skills that this employer is really looking for.
So it's almost like getting a sneak peek behind the curtain.
Exactly.
Into their brain, right? Like what's important to them.
Yes, exactly.
Even if they don't say it out loud.
Even if they don't explicitly say it in the interview.
Yeah.
And then as you practice your answers, RoleCatcher gives you these little nudges reminding you, hey, don't forget to mention this experience or highlight this skill.
So it's like a personalized cheat sheet.
It really is.
Okay, but words on a page are one thing.
Right.
What about delivery? Like how you actually come across in the interview. That's so important.
Oh, huge.
Right.
That's where RoleCatcher's video practice feature can be a game changer.
Wait, it analyzes my video?
It does.
Like how I look and sound?
Yes, you record yourself answering those practice questions, and then the AI goes to work.
Okay.
It looks at your pacing, your tone of voice, even your eye contact.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
It's really helpful.
What kind of feedback does it give?
It might suggest, speaking a little slower, making more eye contact.
Yeah.
Maybe even projecting your voice with more confidence.
Okay.
It can also flag any nervous habits you might have.
Oh, like
filler words,
yeah.
things like that you might not even be aware of.
Yeah, and those little things can make a big difference in how you're perceived.
Absolutely. It's about presenting your best self, and RoleCatcher gives you that extra polish.
Okay. We've covered so many great strategies, so many great tools, but before we wrap up completely, what are some common mistakes that you see people making in these interviews that we should warn our listener about?
Okay. One of the biggest mistakes, and I see this all the time, is not doing enough research on the company and the specific role.
Yeah.
It's easy to just, practice those general interview questions.
Right.
But you got to tailor those answers.
Right, because it shows you're actually interested in this company, this job.
Yes.
Not just any drafting job.
Exactly. You've got to be specific.
Okay, what else? What other mistakes do people make?
Another common pitfall is being too vague or too general. Don't just say, oh, I'm good at CAD or I'm a team player.
Yeah.
Back up those claims with specific examples, quantifiable achievements, real stories.
Show, don't tell.
Show, don't tell.
And don't forget to ask thoughtful questions at the end.
Oh, so important.
Right.
It shows that you're engaged, that you're curious.
Think you were listening.
And that you're thinking critically about the role in the company.
And you did your homework.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So prepare a few questions in advance.
Okay. Well, I think we've really covered it all.
I think so.
In this deep dive.
Yeah.
We started from understanding the role. We tackled those tough questions. We even looked at how AI can help.
We did it all.
So you're armed and ready to conquer that interview.
You've got this.
Remember, believe in yourself, prepare thoroughly, and use all those tools at your disposal.
And have fun.
Have fun.
It's a process. Enjoy it.
That's it for our deep dive. We hope you found it insightful. We hope you found it empowering. Until next time, happy job hunting.